all you can take ownership of and have control over is right now.
So, hi, I'm Debbie. Thank you for joining us. We have Kelly O'Hearn, and she's the author of Arcanum series, and she's a noted intuitive channeler, and she channeled her series of novels that are so interesting. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Sure. Thank you for coming on. So tell me about your books. These are so interesting.
So, Arcanum is a series of novels, and it's the story of a woman primarily, and her challenge and ultimate desire to embrace true love, love of self through the love of her soulmate. But the tagline of the series is happily ever sometimes takes more than one lifetime,
Mm.
because it's all told through the lens of the past lives where these souls have tried time and time again to actualize this eternal, beautiful love that they have for each other, and how they always kind of miss. It's always a near miss.
Mm.
Um, so I have two books out right now. The first book, Arcanum in the Temple Shadows, is the Egyptian past life. And the second book, Whispers in the Forest, is the Renaissance France past life. But in every novel, the common thread is the modern day lifetime in today's timeline, which takes place in New York City. So that's juxtaposed against a full past life. And you just get to know these characters in a way to really understand what they're going through now in New York, and why they're going through that by seeing where they've been in their past life.
That's so interesting. And from what I read about it, the character has a marriage and a family and everything in the first book that she, evolves from, I guess, and in the second one. And that's so apropos to some of our journeys here as we get older, circumstances change and we might have relationships that change as we go and people come in and out of our lives. It's really neat how you put it all together in your books.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean it's something that everybody has an experience with in some form or fashion, be it through, like you said, the people that come in and out of our lives, that you just, we all know that one person or those few people that you've met and you're like, oh my God, like you instantaneously know that there's a pull, there's a connection. I've known you my whole life. I mean, and it doesn't have to be because that person's a lover.
Mhm.
It can just be, just this recognition of someone, and they may become your friend, or they may serve a purpose in your life and then leave.
Mhm.
Um, as I always say to people, don't get me wrong, to have a soulmate that's also a romantic partner is probably the best feeling thing in the world.
Mhm.
But most soulmates are not meant to come in a romantic way. They're always, though, meant to be our life's greatest lesson,
Mhm.
to propel us forward in our growth and our ascension as a soul, to bring us back to ourselves in a way that's a real gift, even though that soulmate could be a challenge. It could be a villain. This person could be just a total pain in your life and cause agony and pain. But in hindsight, you realize the lesson and the gift of it.
Mhm. Or it could be someone that it sticks with you when you're going through everything too, like a best friend or
Oh, those are
mother.
the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally.
yeah. And those are the ones that are so easy to accept as a soulmate, because
Mm.
they are there. They're either your romantic love of your life, or a best friend, or a sibling, or a child. When you have great affection and love and care for another human being, it's so easy to use the phrase, oh, that's she's my soulmate.
Mhm.
It's harder to wrap your head around the possibility that that person that caused you pain, that person that just makes you so, incensed, is that also a soulmate.
Mhm. Yeah, but we're here to overcome our challenges. So
Yes.
they are like, let's do this together. Okay, who are you going to be? It's kind of like a video game a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Where,
it is. Like everybody gets to pick their, what do they call it? Avatar.
yeah, yeah, totally. That's so great. And then because this Sarah Fuller's your character is a perfumer, I think that's really great because you have a history with wine, right?
Yes, I spent a great deal of my younger career in the wine business, which I loved. I loved everything about it. But I wanted to make Arcanum fictionalized. I really didn't want it, especially the modern day timeline, to be based on very strictly on my life.
Mhm.
So I fictionalize a lot of it, but I do, it's always best to write about what you know, which is why the modern day timeline takes place in New York City. That's where I'm born and raised, so it's an easy city for me to write about.
Mhm.
And the fragrance industry, I mean, I've had to do research, but it's still very much based very similarly on the talents and techniques and strengths that wine needs from you, like a great
Mhm.
sense of smell, a real intuitive sense about ingredients, and nuance and things like that. So it was a good parallel choice.
Yeah, it's very sensual too.
Yeah.
So are these characters, this is Sarah Fuller character, is that you and all these past lives? Are these your past lives? Or are these just something that like a fiction that somebody channeled to you?
No, the whole channeling was based, I did it through the lens of my soul. So I did a past life regression experience in 2017. And in that experience, the woman that did it for me told me about this karmic cycle I was in. And she said that I'm in a karmic cycle where I'm always in the company of very powerful, influential men, but never as the wife, always as the mistress, the muse, or the mystic. And I thought that was so strange. It's really not that very that relevant to this life, but I took that statement, that possibility, and that those are the lives I channeled. Like, where was my soul? Who were these powerful men throughout human history? And how did I show up with them? What do you mean I was the mystic? What do you mean I was the muse? Being a mistress is more self-evident. But so I channeled it through the lens of my soul, given that karmic lesson that apparently my soul is in right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's why I had such a visceral reaction to channeling it. Like I felt the emotions. I relived some of the scenes that I became evident to me. I would cry during this. I would have real emotional outbursts.
Mm.
Uh, so it was a really, really interesting. I know it sounds just nutty. Believe me, even while I was doing it, I was like, "This is crazy." But it made for a great way to create a story.
That's wonderful. It doesn't sound, it sounds normal to me. I mean, a lot of the things I write come through, but not
Yes.
like, they're not past lives, but just, it
Yeah,
just
they're not
channels
from
in.
you, they're through you. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So you said that you had a dark time that you went through so that this really helped you get through that?
Well, that's how I discovered the tarot was
Oh.
I had a really challenging health journey. And as I was recovering my health, it became quite evident that my marriage, I was married for 20 years, was over. And then my father, who I was very close to, was dying, and he died before I got divorced.
Mm.
So all this foundational structure in my life, these things that you rely upon and that make you feel safe, were, your health,
Mhm.
your marriage, and then one of your primary adult role models just fracturing.
Wow.
So that's how I found the tarot. Is I turned and I bought a tarot deck, having never done it before, having never had a tarot reading, but I just needed something that would be a nice distraction here and there.
Mhm.
I never intended to make a career out of it. I never even intended to, become like fluent in it. Um, but that was 2014 and I opened my business. I studied it for 3 years and I told nobody. Nobody knew. It was just for me.
Wow.
But I finally started my company in 2018 and now I have a global business. I have clients on every continent. Well, not Antarctica, but every continent except for Antarctica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably a bad internet connection up there.
I know. Yeah, I don't think the emperor penguins are interested in this work.
No, that's
Yeah.
so interesting. So you're just back to the book real quick. Your your three novels are Egypt, and then your new one is in the Vatican, you said?
Yes, I'm currently writing book three, and that takes place in the past life in Vatican City in the late 1400s, early 1500s, during kind of that Spanish Inquisition time
Mhm.
and also when the church was, um, really doing some really horrible things to humans, you know, all because they wanted to save their souls.
Mhm.
So it was kind of a dark time in the Catholic Church's history, but it makes for a really rich story. And book three is a little bit darker, a little bit more intense than the other two books.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's coming together really well.
So you get into the history of the times. in your books a little bit?
I do. I touch on it. I don't spend a great deal of time because it's not so much a historical fiction novel, my novels.
Mhm.
It's more of like a it's not classic romance either.
Mhm.
But it has romance elements, it has paranormal elements because of the past lives. Obviously, the history of humanity comes in because I have to create the setting and speak of the time of the past life I'm writing about. But
Mhm.
I don't go into a great deal of detail about the era.
Just about the relationships.
Correct.
Yeah, wonderful. So, and you are an intuitive and you do tarot work to help people now. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And also, what do people ask for?
Absolutely. Well, the kind of work that I do, like you said, I'm a tarot card reader. I call myself an intuitive channeler. And what I mean by that is I have the ability, and that any of us have, every person that is in your audience, every person that stumbles upon this has this capacity. You want a nice bicep, you have to pick up the dumbbell and do the curl. You just have to exercise your intuitive muscle. But I have the capacity to translate and understand people's energetic body, where their vibration and frequency is, especially in relationship to the things that they desire or the challenges they are having.
Mhm.
And that's really important because I cannot read anybody's mind. That is not my gift.
Mhm.
And it's a really important distinction because a lot of people come to this work, tarot work, because they want future predictions. What's going to happen? Will he come back? Will I make the money? Am I going to get the job? All of these things. And I don't believe in predicting the future. Um, but I can work. What I do is I work with my clients in order to help change their frequency
Mhm.
and the vibration that they're emitting out into life, and therefore that life changes for them because it meets them where they currently are when after we're done working together.
Mhm.
So things people, I mean, as you can imagine, no one comes to me because life is going well.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
in a bit of a crisis, they're stuck around something. So the primary reasons people come to me is about relationship, a breakup, is he coming back, or they're desiring a partner and they're having trouble manifesting that.
Mhm.
That's that's a big one. The other big one is always around money. I mean, love and money,
Yeah.
are, two huge buckets for people.
Right.
So career, all these things, and then health, wellness. Very few people. I mean, I refuse to diagnose anything.
Mhm.
I'm not a doctor, and that I won't step into, diagnostics or anything like that, but I can very much work with wellness and the vibration in the body to help like loosen where there's disease going on. Um,
And you do that intuitively or with light? How do you do that?
with vibration.
Vibration,
Yeah.
light vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pure vibration. I
Mhm.
mean, for me, it's not so much light, it's probably more sound.
Okay. Well, I
But
mean, to me, it's all the same,
yeah,
similar.
yeah. Um, but it's just if you can increase and highlight the vibration somewhere and release the restriction and the log jam,
Mhm.
how that can get a lot of great things flowing.
But you
And
don't do that with a tool, you do that with your mind,
no,
right?
yeah,
It's an
I
energetic
very
thing.
seldom work with people in person. I'm always in Zoom doing my
Yeah.
channeling. And because linear time and third dimensional space don't really exist to
Uh-huh.
where I work.
Sure.
That sounds nuts, but it's just the truth of
No.
it. So,
Well, not to me, it's normal, but
no,
I
for
think
you,
people
yeah.
people won't understand how you can work over the phone like that. I mean, I can because I am in that too,
Yes.
um but explain a little bit about how energy works and how you connect. I mean, to me, we're in quantum soup, so we're just connected, and you
Yeah,
think about somebody and you connect with them. But explain
absolutely.
how that works in with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole concept of entanglement. But so the way I get to experience it is the way I'm shown people's energetic body, because when I say that, you can think of it as your soul, your higher self, whatever, but it's the part of your experience, the eternal infinite part of you
Mhm.
that holds a certain frequency. But what happens is that pure frequency, that is our true essence, gets distorted once it's dancing with the mind and the ego and things like that. So it's our mind that can change the frequency of how we move it out into this third dimensional world. So I'm able to go into the energetic body, which isn't the pure soul, because the pure soul is fine. That doesn't need any help
Mhm.
from me. Um, but it's more the relationship between the brain, the heart, and the soul, that kind of trinity,
Mhm.
and work there to help raise, clean up, um, you know, turn up the volume of the frequency that people are emitting out into the field. And I do that. Obviously, I'm working with their energy while we're working together. But I also give them actual tools,
Mhm.
by showing them how their language is affecting their vibration and the results that
Mhm.
they're getting, how their subconscious beliefs, bringing those to the surface to help them realize that unbeknownst to them, their self, even though say they desire a lover, they're self-sabotaging it every chance they get.
Yeah.
And they're not even aware of it.
Mhm.
So it's through all those things. And I'll tell you something, there is so much power in believing in yourself.
Mhm.
Stop giving your power away that that result is going to make you happy.
Mhm.
There is nothing that you need in this moment that you don't already have,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Yeah, we are what we say we are. And
yeah,
words are extremely
completely.
important. But a lot of us, especially people of our generation, were taught to want approval from everybody. Now
Mhm.
that kids these days don't have that same stigma that we had, so that's good. But we have all this baggage, and people have blocks that they don't see, their fears that they don't understand that they have,
Yeah,
and to me, to explain it maybe a little bit in our current terms, it's like it's a computer that you're tapping into a computer and you're not touching the motherboard, you're not touching the core, but you're triggering the computer to send the code to fix things within the computer. So they're fixing themselves. You're just
right.
triggering the the code, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
that's a beautiful way of putting it. I love
Okay.
that analogy. Yeah. I'm a very visual person, so that's perfect for me. It's a great
Okay.
visual.
Yeah. So how do you frequency is important. We're learning and sound and frequency are they can we're learning so much about they can shift things and move people and all that. But how do you help people get over things like that? Do you just give them affirmations or I mean
No, I help them see the truth of why everything's happening the way it's happening. Because when you can shift and look at yourself and instead of being a victim to life circumstance, realize why it's happened the way it is and that it's all in service to you. You're never being punished,
Mhm.
ever. You're always being protected.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's easy, and I am not dismissing the actual pain and hardships that we all go through. It's and hopefully cyclically, hopefully not all the time, but some people really suffer in
Oh
this
yeah.
thing called life. Um, but when I can help someone really take back their power and remember that they are fully in control, they are a sovereign being in control of the results they are getting in life. Life is just a mirror
Mhm.
to our vibration. That's all it
It's
is.
sometimes it's so hard when someone is in the midst of it.
Yeah.
I read a little book and it said, if somebody betrays you, thank them because they probably prodded you to get out of the situation that you were in, and everything, even a jolt like that, is good
Mhm.
for you. But when you're in something, a really dire situation, sometimes it can be overwhelming to do something to get out of it. And um, I mean, I think people just need to take a step, even if it's just to clean their house or wash their feet, something, just
Yes.
get something. But what do you suggest when someone is overwhelmed? What would you tell them to do?
Well, it depends on the source of the overwhelm. I one of the most powerful clients I ever worked with, she had she was in a very physical abusive relationship, and but she wouldn't leave, which is not uncommon.
Mhm.
And then they got pregnant, and she was so excited, um, really thinking this would help them turn the corner, that he would stop hurting her. Well, unfortunately, there was the exact opposite happened. And when he found out, he was so enraged that he beat her so badly that the baby just self-aborted. She miscarried the baby. And she couldn't move on. She was so stuck in her pain, and her pain was so, it was so strong. So we're working together, we're breaking it down gently. um because someone in that state, when someone is that wounded, when they come to me, they're like a caged animal that's been
Mhm.
abused. Like, you have to work really slowly, really mindfully, and just very cautiously. It's But what was interesting is the soul of her baby came into the experience.
Oh, wow.
And because I can do, I can, I channel sometimes like a medium.
Hmm.
It's not something I uh, often offer, but I can do it. So the soul of her baby came in, and I just burst into tears. And I looked at her and I said, "This baby wants you to know it lived a complete life
Mm-hmm.
from the moment it was conceived to the moment that it died. That was its complete life. And the only purpose of that life was to get you to leave that
Wow.
relationship."
Wow.
It was the most beautiful act of unconditional love I've ever been witness to.
Hmm.
And when she heard those words, and that penny, I could see the penny go in the slot of understanding
Hmm.
of the beautiful gift of love that that baby gave to her. She, it was almost instantaneous.
Wow. Oh, that's great.
So every client is different. It just depends on where they are.
Mhm.
And I have to take it case by case. I don't have a handbook that I can rely on, because every story is so unique. Every person's
Mhm.
experience is so personal. Um, and their pain is so personal because they see it through the lens of the self, their ego. So you don't, as you know, you can't, it's not a one size fits all fix,
Mhm.
um, or experience. So, with that woman, we just worked together one time and it was done.
That's wonderful.
With some people, I work with them continuously when they're in crisis, maybe once a week or once every two
Oh,
weeks.
goodness. Do they think that they like, well, doing tarot card readings or having a reading is so interesting. It's fun, but and it's also part of maybe a friendship too. But do you think that some people get stuck in their drama?
They do. They definitely do, but I'm a very blunt person. So I call them on that.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Because listen, it's so easy to blame everything and everyone in our life for our woes,
Hmm.
but I will not allow that to happen. If you want to work with me, you are going to take ownership for your story. I
Where
am
do you
not
get where do you get all
dismissive.
your insight? I mean, you are so knowledgeable in just human behavior.
I don't know. It just comes to me. That's part of, clearly my purpose at this stage in my life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm 58, almost 59 years old, so I've lived a lot of life, and I've had my heart broken, and so I have life under my belt, and just as my lows may not be as low as many, but I have a lot of life experience, as well as witnessed a lot of life experience. But it just comes to me. I'm given the knowledge from my guides.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're going through such changes here right now on this planet. And as you know, that this has happened over and over again throughout time, that different
Yeah.
changes happen. But what kind of insight can you say to people that will help them get through? Because to me, I think that in my case, I want people to just focus on the individuals and what they can touch in their own community, because really we can't change everything. And even if we tried changing the world, it's the system here is a teaching planet. It's going to always have evil and good. So I don't know. To me, I think that we should focus on what we can do in our own world and our own lives and helping each other and being kind to each other and working, focusing on our own growth. When hopefully I mean, I think the world will eventually mellow out and we'll get to some kind of good norm and we'll get through this challenge that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to go through though. What kind of insights can you give us?
So it's a great question. Um, this is what I have been shown. And so if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, great. To start off, I completely agree with you. Tend to yourself and tend to the things and people in your immediate environment that you love. Take care of that. Take care of your own world. The greater world right now, what we're seeing is this literal, like, think of it as like pulling taffy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
We have been in a really long cosmic cycle of a masculine era.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that, it's not necessarily, I mean, yes, most rulers and most authority have been men, but the masculine era is about authority, leadership, but distorted masculine energy can be about captivity and dictatorial tendencies and just bondage and things like that. It's power over things. So the planet literally has been vibrating, even the planet, in a masculine way. Well, now, as you know, and I don't know if all your viewers know, the planet's entire vibration is shifting as well. And we have recently moved into a new age of Aquarius, which,
Right.
song,
I
all
heard
these
about
things.
that.
But it's a
Mhm.
really, really important shift because we are moving into a feminine era.
Mhm.
So think about that, from an era of dominance and masculine for millennia
Mhm.
into a new feminine, more subtle, more nuanced, more intuitive, and softer. If you think for 1 second the masculine powers that be want to give up that power,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
So you're literally seeing this like battle. I mean, we can say good and evil, we can say masculine and feminine, we can say light and dark. I mean, at the end of the day, we live in an existence of duality. So there's
Mhm.
always going to be an opposite.
Mhm.
But that is really what's going on here, I believe, and that's what I've been shown.
Mhm.
I'm not worried about it.
Mhm.
I am not worried about it.
Yeah, I'm not either,
Because
actually.
what?
I'm not either.
Yeah, because the wave and the amount of people that are waking up right now, even just to question, is there more?
Hmm.
Who am I? What is my real essence?
Hmm.
Whatever your ascension journey is and whatever gets you there. Um, and it normally comes out of some sort of hardship. So, ironically enough, the energies that are trying to keep the captivity and the control are actually triggering more and more awakenings globally.
Right, exactly.
So, I'm grateful for that. So, this whole wave of new awakening, this rise in consciousness on this planet, will, at the end of the day, um, I am shown, and I really do believe will take care of it, take care and sort it all out. Will it be messy? 100%. It's already been messy. I feel it'll get messier before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, I'm a mother. I have two children. I'm not worried about their welfare.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with you completely. And something I think I grew up with, we heard about the age of the Aquarius in the song when we
Yeah,
were
of course. Yeah, the
little.
fifth dimension was a great
Yeah,
book.
and if you look at the metaphysical world, that we were over here and now we're here on the chart, I guess. There's this whole light age. We went all the way through this, and we were about right here before, like in the 70s, I think. And now
Okay.
we're probably here right in the beginning of the age of Aquarius. And it doesn't mean feminine, doesn't mean girly. It means just a lighter energy. It's non-gender. So there are going to be boys that are going to be in charge too. But it's
Absolutely.
it's just it's not the hammering the head dogmatic kind of leadership from before.
Mhm.
It's going to be better. And by you and I saying that people should be their individuals, it's like if everybody turns a light on in their room, pretty soon the whole neighborhood is lighter. And
Mhm.
so that'll happen is as everybody lights up, the darkness will subside because it'll get less and less. The more if we pay attention to it, it's going to get bigger. But if
Yeah.
we ignore that and just focus on ourselves, knowing that it's going to do its thing, because no matter what we do, the world is going to do their thing. They already have their systems in place, the power, the
Of
money.
course.
They're going to do their thing. They don't care about anybody else. So
Yeah.
all we can do is light up our own little neighborhoods and the light will grow and everybody will get more enlightened and it'll work out. But not everybody's going to be happy with it, and that's unfortunate. So that's why being
That
kind.
doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that because happiness to me is an emotion, and emotions are they come and go.
Mhm.
But what I always want people to try to remember is in the midst of a reaction, are you reacting because you're afraid? So fear would be anger, fear would be resentment, fear would be outrage, fear would be frustration, fear would be obviously violence.
Mhm.
You know, those are reactions of fear. And again, there's nothing wrong with having fear. But try to be consciously aware of where it is. Why are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
Mhm.
Give voice to it, welcome it into the room, and really shake hands with it because you'll realize it's nothing. It's just like mist.
It's yeah, it's energy. It's nothing. Let it go.
Just it's nothing. So I mean, I want people to have the dignity of their emotional experience, happiness, sadness, whatever it is. But always try to remember, why are you having that response?
Hmm.
You know, because if you can sit in safety and trust, then all of a sudden you're not as reactive to it all.
Right. Like
I
and
mean, I
kind of
don't
really,
like what's going on, but
yeah.
it does not control my emotional body at all.
Yeah, and we're taught to stay neutral. So you just keep your energy neutral, and then everything that happens, you can still have the emotions and whatnot, but if you stay neutral in it, then it doesn't
Yeah,
bother
it
you.
doesn't affect your vibration. No.
Right. Yeah, and the vibration is the key and the frequency.
If you want certain results in life and if you want to have a certain experience in life, vibration is everything.
Do you work on raising frequencies at all in your work?
No,
Okay.
no, I really keep it just to working with my clients.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, I've never done that. It's not that I'm against it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that I wouldn't do it, but no, I've never taken it that to that arena.
Yeah. They have music, I guess, and sounds you can do. But it's interesting. It does make a difference. Like is it right? The bowls, when you hear the bowls.
Oh yeah, the sound bowl. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
have a
make a
sound bowl in my
difference.
home, but I just use that for myself and my own, pleasure. But
Yeah.
no, it's incredible the results they get when they get a large group of people to do a walking meditation or some sort of intentional focused prayer or mantra or something. It's
Mhm.
amazing what happens.
Yeah, it's so you can feel the difference when people are in the same meditating mindset or
Yeah.
prayer mindset. It's just really lovely how the energy shifts and everybody gets happy or gets,
Yeah.
gets, they feel good. That's really neat. So what else do you want to say? Anything else you want to bring up?
No, I'm just so enjoying this conversation. I really, really love speaking to someone that speaks, we speak the same language.
Oh,
So
wonderful. Well, we should have
it's
more
such a,
then, because
I know, I would love it because it's
this
such a
this
joy for
platform
me.
is all about it's all about helping people. And right now I want to build a little community or a big community of people that just come together to have conversations and share,
Yes,
help enlighten each other's days a little bit, because there's so much that we're going through and so much that we're going to go through in the future. So by connecting with each other, I think we can help each other.
definitely.
So
But I
yeah.
just want people to know that my books are available on Amazon. I believe you'll link them.
Yeah, we'll also show graphics, and I'll have the
Great.
posts with the links, and
Thank you.
also you have a great website. Your Instagram and your TikTok sh channels are really good.
Thank you.
Kelly
Yeah, and
does.
people are welcome to direct message me through Instagram. I don't do TikToks, so don't try and contact me there because I'll have no idea.
Okay.
But Instagram, you're welcome, and my email through my website. If anyone has any questions or wants to inquire about my work.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and
Thank
hopefully I'll talk to
you.
you soon. Maybe we'll have another roundtable. I'm doing roundtables lately. Maybe we can bring in somebody else to also talk about, well, let's talk about it now. How can we help women in particular get through what's happening? Because women in particular and some men, I guess I shouldn't genderize it, but some people are not being bullied, but we're being oppressed. They're trying to oppress everybody. So what can you say to people to maybe help them through this time?
Well, I mean, you're only as oppressed as you allow yourself to be.
Okay.
I am not saying that people don't live under horrible regimes and great threat for their life because they're in a war-torn zone and all of these just devastating realities that is their reality. And it's awful, but they can still, where they stand, tell themselves that they are safe
Hmm.
and that all is well and that they will be okay and that everything's going to be okay. And it's not because it changes any outcome that may happen down in the future, but all you can take ownership of and have control over is right now. We hear it all the time, be in the now, the power of now. Eckhart Tolle's famous book, The Power of Now, like it's a great book, but there is such freedom there when you really, really pull back from looking at the entire landscape around you, especially globally.
Hmm.
It's so much chaos, it's so much noise. Pull right back to where you are. Grab the hand of the person next to you. Hug the person you love. Delight in your pet if you have one. Um, just find a flower somewhere, a beautiful shrub, something. Just find some beauty in front of you and ground yourself back in the present. Because right there, right here, right now, there is no threat. There is no fear. There is no harm. And by doing that a little bit here, a little bit there, I'm not saying all day, every day, but just when you can, when you think of it, when you start to get gripped with anxiety or depression or fear, ground yourself back in that present moment. And little by little, the one thing I can promise everybody is life gives you what you are, not what you want.
Hmm.
So if you go through life from a place of fear, threat, anger, vitriol, resentment, you will continue to get that served to you in return. I live in the same world that you do. I live in the same world that all of your listeners do. I have none of that in my life. I know it's out there. I don't bury my head in the sand, but it's almost like I'm looking at it from a high perspective with compassion, helping where I can 100%, but it does not enter my world.
Lovely,
Mhm. And I
lovely.
recommend it highly.
Yeah, really good advice. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, and I'm
Thank
sure we'll
you.
talk to you again soon.
I
And
look forward
everybody
to
go
it.
get her books and see the links and check out her website and her Instagram page and follow her on Instagram. All
Thank
right,
you so much.
sure. Bye.